Light Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
And the X is going up again.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Geico, 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Mahindra Tractors, get the best 7-year warranty in Texas. And by Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, your hosts, Jeff Cavanaugh and Brad Sham.
And welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. We're on the Cowboys Hour. We've got a lovely crowd out here on a breezy but lovely evening at Neighborhood Services right next to the Omni in Frisco at the Star. Delighted to have all of you with us. Thanks for coming out. Delighted to have you with us wherever you're listening on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. And if you're watching either live or later in the week, streamed on DallasCowboys.com. That's what those cameras are for. Wave to the cameras. Everybody watching, and we're saying hi. And we are just tickled to have the brother act of Rod and Jaylon Smith. Thank you both very much for coming. Appreciate it. Make them feel welcome, won't you?
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
We did this last year at the previous location, not new and improved like this. And this is so much more fun because obviously Jaylon's not rehabbing now; he's playing, and Rod is not encumbered by the fullback role and the extra weight they made you carry to be a big blocking, bruising fullback. Now you're the sleek gazelle that you've always been.
Yeah.
Right. So there they are. So we're delighted. We're delighted to have you. So our policy is when there's a game that we didn't particularly like, we acknowledge it, we address it briefly, and we move on. And that's just what we do. So let me ask you both. I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. To what extent might have been a factor the fact that they had 10 days off and you guys basically had 1 day of practice last week?
That didn't matter. The amount of reps that we do, in camp and, OTAs and mini camp, and we go through all different type of scenarios. So, even when you have a short week, it comes down to execution. When you have a long week, it comes down to execution. And, the team that executes the most, makes the most plays, is the team that'll win.
Big Brother Rod, you agree with that?
Most definitely. I just feel like the team that they executed more came out and competed better, and they got the job done. But it's not going to stop what we got going on. We're still going to go in, practice tomorrow, and bite down and just get back to work.
You watch the tape today? I mean, it's technically your day off.
Yeah. Watch it right after the game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Just load it up on the iPad and watch it, or do you come in here and?
As soon as you get back to the to the crib, it's on our iPad, so it's easy access.
When do you take like a break? Like when do you say I'm shutting it down mentally for 6 hours?
After the season.
Most definitely.
Okay, all right. There you go. That's why they're here. You do the same thing?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Well, I just want to go with one football game question before we go on to what I think is really exciting for Cowboy fans. That what an incredible experience it has to be for you guys, just by mathematics, to have brothers in the NFL on the same football team. But just on the Rams, do you feel like the general public, or I don't know if you guys even acknowledge the general public, but, on doing a radio show today, you hear a lot of, no matter what went on, you can't lose to the Rams. And I feel like that team is a lot better than what they were a year ago. Do you feel like that's fair to say? Like, that team is not a 3, 4, 5-win football team that you guys just played.
I wouldn't say necessarily that. I mean, I feel like it's the NFL. Each team has players that's going out there to get paid, and that's really good at what they do. And like I said, man, the best team that comes out and execute more, they end up winning the game. And it just wasn't our shot that night. But like I said, we're gonna get back at it. It's a long season, and you can see what this team is capable of. You see the passion we going out there and playing with each and every day. It's gonna be a long season, so it's not over. So still early.
So let's move on to the fun part of this, which is having you two here with us, which I think is great for the crowd, as evidenced by how many people have come out today. They're down for this family affair we got going on.
Oh yeah.
Where to be? I kind of want to begin with, I guess, before the NFL, because we have Jaylon Smith, we have Rod Smith, brothers on the same professional football team. And if what I'm reading is correct, before the Dallas Cowboys, you guys had never played on the same team.
Never.
Never. And 3 years apart,
Yeah.
so you could have been close.
But they went to different high schools.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so I know that we covered some of this ground when we did this last year, but most of these folks didn't hear it, and almost none of these people were not totally none. Minnie was there last year, but there are a few. So can we start there? How did you come to go to different high schools?
Well, Rod went to a public high school in Paul Harding, which is literally right down the street, from our house and our home. So it got to the point where he won state as his freshman year. He was a starting running back. And a few years went by, and he was the top shot. The biggest thing to come out of Fort Wayne, and I'm the little brother, with a decision to make. And for me, I wanted to, kind of take my own path. It was a few of my teammates and best friends that I grew up with. They were all going to a Catholic high school called Bishop Lewis, which is also right around the corner from our home. So I kind of wanted to stay with that knit, and just I wanted to learn, something different, and just step out of my comfort zone. And that's why I chose Bishop Lewis High School.
Did you want to step out of your comfort zone and avoid his imposing shadow? Or was it just to get out of your own comfort zone? Well,
his shadow was going to be there regardless. So, it was just about making a decision for me, academically. And Bishop Lewis, had more to offer, than Paul Harding High School, I felt, in my opinion. But it's just a great decision. We actually got to play against each other my freshman year. That was his senior year, and
How'd
so
that
many.
go?
Oh, he could tell you about that.
I mean, they won.
Oh no, the little brother won.
Yeah, I mean, they won state that year. They was a pretty stacked team. They had a good team.
You cast quite a shadow based on my numbers: 6,625 yards and 66 touchdowns in high school. That sounds like a fun life.
Sounds about right. Yeah. I put a little work in back in Indiana.
Now, when you read some of that stuff, and by the way, we're going to need to devote a whole segment later to Rod talking about his basketball prowess, because he will be happy to talk about his basketball prowess.
Well, that makes you about the 8th straight player
I think so.
Says he's the best on the team at basketball.
Ain't too many players from Indiana, man. Indiana always got the top ballers. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say.
And a track star.
Oh, yeah, I ran track. I wouldn't say I'm the fastest in track. We got some fast guys.
Did you play football both ways?
Yes, I played safety.
You played safety?
Yes.
Because you were like the top linebacker in the country in high school, but you were also a running back, right?
Yeah.
A beast. He's a beast.
A beast.
Yes.
So when you played each other, did you tackle each other, or have the opportunity to tackle each other, or were you playing defense when he was playing offense?
Yeah. So I actually started fullback that game.
At fullback.
Oh
crazy
man!
As a freshman?
Yeah. I started I started outside linebacker and fullback that game because our fullback was hurt. He had a concussion. So man, it was one play where I had to go block him at safety, and he just manhandled me. He was talking trash. He told me to.
It's like one of them welcome to the big leagues, little bro.
He told me to get the F up.
Oh, Rod.
Hey man.
Yeah.
Representing me at the same time. I couldn't let him just sit down. He got to get back up.
Well, my research indicates that the picture in the paper the next day was a picture of Jaylon tackling Rod in that game.
I made him fumble too, actually.
I think it was a play made me fumble.
Really?
Yeah, it was a play made me fumble.
How'd that go?
Man, I was hot. My coach, he was chewing me out, but It was a good game.
Yeah.
I remember every moment of that game, and I cherish those moments like that.
What did the family do? Was everybody torn? Who did they cheer
Yeah.
for?
We had a lot of family come in town. I know our dad. He sat he sat on the Bishop Lewis side the first half, and then he sat on Harding side the second half.
Yeah.
So he walked across the stands. But that's definitely a great night for the family.
Oh yeah.
Then you go to Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave the state of Indiana?
Me personally, I ended up building a great relationship with Jim Tressel. He was the head coach who recruited me, and I just looked up to him. I just felt like I can see some type of mentoring him. He reminded me of my of a father figure. So I went there, and then also at the time Ohio State, Ohio State always competing, always in the talks of the top with the best players and the best teams. So I just wanted to go out there and just show a kid from Indiana got what it takes to play in the big leagues.
And how did you wind up at Notre Dame?
A mama's boy. Wanted to stay close to home. Notre Dame is everything about Notre Dame, and it fit me, and it had a lot to offer, and best decision of my life.
Now I've seen your tweets about your mother's cooking. So are you still a mama's boy?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Your mama boy.
All right. Well, we're only getting started because this is not the first time the Cowboys have had brothers play on the same team, but it's the first time for Rod and Jaylon, and it's the first time in a long time, and it just doesn't happen very often. So we are delighted to have all of you here. Jeff and I are especially delighted to have Jaylon and Rod here this evening, and this is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and brought to you in part by Omni Hotel. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more and turn the next away game into a getaway weekend. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Back with Rod Smith and Jaylon Smith. They've met each other before, right after this.
Know what I'm doing right now?
Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back. It is the Cowboys Hour radio show. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh alongside Brad Sham, and we thank our very special guest today, as it is a family affair, Jaylon and Rod Smith, kind enough to join us here in the Cowboys Hour.
Speaking of family affair, are we going to mention that your parents are here?
My parents are here, so everybody make a lot of noise for my parents.
Everybody make a lot of noise for Jeff's parents. They're right over there.
All right.
They'll be signing autographs after the show, after Jaylon and Rod have had to leave.
Now back to the Dallas Cowboy players, who I think people might be interested in.
I'm interested in your parents, but all right.
Okay, well, I apologize if any of this came up when you did this a year ago. I have the
That's
worst
all right.
memory of all time.
That's all right. You weren't listening anyway.
I listened to about 83%. 83%.
Okay.
But I want to hear from Rod, older brother. I want to hear from your perspective, because I think I and a lot of people can't get over the amount of coincidence, odds, whatever, that, you know, two people who are brothers end up on the same professional football team. On draft night, before Jaylon is selected, did you think it was possible? Did you know anything about it? Were you cheering for it? What's going on when you're already in the NFL and Jaylon's getting ready to be drafted?
I really didn't have a clue. You know, it's one of those moments like I'm just excited for my little brother, just seeing him accomplish one of his dreams, getting his name called. I probably just as much as happy as he was. But when I seen the Dallas number, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, wow, this can't be possible. But he answered the phone, and on the other line it was Jerry Jones, and I was just in shock. Like, I can't believe this. Like, me and my little brother is like, we've talked about this, you know, like sharing the same rooms, you know, just talking about like which position you want to play on the last down, the last play of the game, type stuff like that. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have my brother here with me on this journey, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
And Jaylon, how is that day for you? I mean, we were there covering the draft and hear the phone calls and everything, but just that whole experience to know that you're going with your big brother.
Well, it was very emotional. Like Rod said, we dreamt of playing on the same team together in the NFL, and for that to come true, it was a big relief, a big shocker, but definitely a lot of joy for our family that night, and it was definitely displayed on television. And you know, now, you know, we're actually playing together, and it's just a great feeling, wonderful feeling.
Were you surprised at where you were drafted? I mean, how much uncertainty was created in your mind after the Fiesta Bowl?
I mean, I could have went anywhere from, you know, the first round to being undrafted. You know, it was just about someone taking a chance on me, and you know, I thank the Cowboys organization every day for believing in me, and it's just a great feeling to be back.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to do something that I normally would not do, but I don't know how to tell their story without it. Normally, religion and politics are things that you just should not discuss in a sports show. But I don't know how to separate Jaylon and Rod from faith. You had to have an enormous amount of faith to fight back physically the way you did. And maybe you could both just, I'm not trying to get ecumenical or anything, but maybe you could just both talk a little bit about the role that faith has played in, you know, you were undrafted after being this big stud guy in high school and going to Ohio State, and you had what happened to you in the Fiesta Bowl. What's the role of faith in your lives?
I would say really just got to mainly believe in yourself and believe in God, believe that he has a plan for you. Any obstacle he throws in front of you, he feels you're strong enough to overcome it. And I feel with my situation, it's kind of big. You go from being this big time guy and being expected a lot of things, and certain obstacles come in front of you, and you basically have to take another route, take a shortcut, and it really humbles me. But at the same time, you definitely have strong faith in God and always believe in yourself.
Now, what was your faith journey before you got hurt, and did it change, intensify, grow, anything since?
Well, it was, you know, I always knew a threat was to, you know, be injured. You know, so I, you know, worked my butt off, obviously, to do anything I can to prevent that. But, what's meant to happen is going to happen. And, when the obstacle came, it was just about attacking at full throttle. It's made me a better man. And, something that's helped me is, a model that I live by called a clear-eyed view, which is a focused vision, a determined belief, and earned dreams. So, I've continued to walk, in that path, even before the injury. And it's just it's a way of life.
I was going to ask you, when did you develop that? When did that become a personal credo for you?
Actually, it was my sophomore year at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame?
Yeah, I was thinking of things of, what defines me and, what can I share with the world to be able to, impact lives. And I came up with the saying and the motto. And, now I'm on a platform to where I can really display that.
So, I guess this is just for both of you to kick around, and I know we want to get past sort of injury talk because now we're playing football, and that's great, and that's what we're doing moving forward. But in terms of the two of you being together in the same city on the same team, what did that mean in terms of rehabbing and waking up every day and knowing, hey, my big brother is here with me? Like, how did that work? How did you guys help each other in that scenario?
That helped tremendously because I knew someone who could hold me accountable in every way. You could be nice about it, but you can also be strict about it. You naturally listen to your big brother in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? So to hold each other accountable, making sure that we're at meetings on time, to make sure that I'm up early getting rehab. To make sure that he's on his P's and Q's. We definitely it helps when you have a relative close and near, let alone on the same team.
Does he need watching to stay on his P's and Q's?
A little bit.
Okay. This is my favorite question to ask them. We've done this before, but I just love this. So I would like each of you to answer. Rod, you're older. You can go first. Which of you is the better athlete?
The better athlete.
Better athlete.
I mean, I'm gonna go with myself, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I'm up there, man. I can compete. I can compete with the best of them.
Get Jaylon.
Jaylon, which of you is the better athlete?
He's the better athlete. No, I'm the better athlete. No, we definitely compete over all of that good stuff. I think that's what's got us here is the competition, the competitive nature, wanting to be great.
Now, there are some things that we could settle right here, and I'm not saying that we should or will because you can hurt things doing all sorts of random things, but we'll just say arm wrestling for the sake of it. Who's the winner? Surely you've done it.
Man, hey. Hey. I'm gonna die trying, man. I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm sore right now. I can't do no.
These like one of these topics like you go back and forth and like we never gonna have a winner. Yeah, it's just like okay.
Right.
All right then. Which of you? We'll let Jaylon answer this one first. Which of you is the better football player?
The better football player.
Better football player.
I'm the better singer. I can sing better.
Well, we'll get to that. Now you've opened another door, and thank you very much.
Definitely.
Which of you is the better football player?
I think football player, man. We both add things to the game.
You love your brother, don't you?
No, it's the truth. There's some things that he's better at. There's some things that I'm better at. But it's all love.
Rod, which of you is the better football player?
It's a toss-up, man.
That's not what you told me before. Now, just your honor and permission to treat the witnesses hostile.
This how we're gonna do it. If you a defensive, if you like defense, you with Jaylon. If you like offense, you with me. That's how we do it.
I have a follow-up. Just one slight. I have one slight follow-up.
What side you want? Pick a side.
Fantasy weird scenario. What we have here is a ball that is snapped from the 12-yard line. It's handed off to Rod Smith. Somehow, it's crazy. Everyone gets cut block. Everyone's on the ground. Here at the 10-yard line is Rod Smith running for the end zone. Jaylon's right in front of him 5 yards away. Does Rod score?
I'm giving it all I got. I'm giving it all I got.
I love it. That's a great family. That's a great family.
Hey, is he scoring?
You said, is he scoring?
Yeah.
Man, I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen.
Okay, which of you would, at this stage, we've established both of you did everything when you were in high school. So at this stage, which of you would have more success if you switched sides of the ball now? Would you be better on offense than Rod would be on defense if you did it right now?
Think you still got some defense in you?
I don't know. I feel like I do. In my mind, I do.
You started with I don't know.
But man, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. You want Jaylon or you want Rod, but I mean, both of them gonna give you what you want. I'll tell you that.
Are you gonna go with that? You're gonna ride the fence like that?
It's the truth. It's the truth.
So
They try to turn this on each other.
no.
That's entertaining that way, yeah.
No, because when Jaylon wasn't around, I asked Rod that question one day. I said, which one's a better athlete? He said, oh, me.
So now the great Brad Sham is on radio snitching.
And I said, which of you is the better football player? And he said, well, Jaylon's a better football player. But now I'm glad to see that your confidence is up, and you're now willing to. So you both played both sides of the ball. Jaylon, you start with this one. Was there ever a time when you said, I really think I should be playing offense. I want to play offense.
I wanted to play offense my whole life. I did. I wanted to be a running back, just like my big brother. But I got to high school, and my freshman year, I ended up having a great camp, and I started at outside linebacker. And, I went on to have 13 sacks that year, and I just fell in love with attacking, with getting the quarterback. You know what I mean? And really developed a knack for it. And from there on, I was, sold on playing defense for the rest of my life.
Did you ever tell anybody at Notre Dame, hey, I can carry the ball?
I think they knew.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, Indiana, they got to know.
Yeah, they offered me, pretty much every team, said I could play offense or defense. It was my decision. So.
Oh, that must be nice.
Yeah.
And did you ever want to play defense?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to play defense. But
when did you quit wanting to play defense?
I don't think I never quit really. I still feel myself watching. Watching the defense in film and just trying to put myself in their shoes. But
last week, Keith had to play both in practice. Did you do that too?
I played a little bit, but the majority it was Keith because Keith got the linebacker background, so he played the majority.
Nice of cousin Keith to be waiting for you guys when you got
that's
here.
Because. Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming out today. We got a lot more coming up here with Jaylon and Rod Smith. It is the Cowboy Hour radio show. I want to thank a couple of our sponsors, Jack Black Skincare. Say goodbye to painful razor burn and bumps when you upgrade your shave with Jack Black's pain-free shave system. Now $10 off your order of $50 or more when you visit getjackblack.com/cowboys. That's getjackblack.com/cowboys. And, of course, Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries at Albertsons and Tom Thumb every Dallas Cowboy game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey and enter for a chance to win tickets to the next Cowboys home game courtesy of Albertsons, the official supermarket of the Dallas Cowboys. We will be right back with more Cowboys Hour with Jaylon and Rod Smith.
Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back, everybody, and welcome wherever you're listening along the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. I'm Brad Sham with Jeff Cavanaugh and Jeff's parents who are here tonight. We're not going to let them off the hook. We might even try to get them on camera before we're done. And Jaylon Smith and Rod Smith, our special Cowboys guests. We are just delighted to have everyone here. If you have a question, those of you who are here at the Omni Frisco at the Star, if you have a question for Jaylon or Rod, in the next segment, if you'll hold your hand up, we'll have a microphone circulate. Is the lovely Amanda going to do that?
I believe we've recruited a professional broadcaster to run the mic.
That
yes.
could really be something. We may both be out of work next week if that's the case. Nonetheless, if you're ready with a question in the next segment, hold your hand up, and Amanda will come find you and give you an opportunity to talk to Jaylon and Rod. So we love to flesh out the human beings that are the players here, not just the guys in cages and big numbers on their shirts. So let's first pursue a little bit more about other sports. We mentioned that, but I said earlier, Rod, that we would give you time to talk as much as you wanted about your basketball prowess, your career, and did you see yourself in high school as an NBA player instead of an NFL player?
If I was a little bit taller, maybe. You got to be tall in the NBA. But if I was a little bit taller, I think I could have, had a good shot at it.
Isaiah Thomas is this tall.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like if I was blessed with 6'6", 6'7" height, I think I would have been pretty good.
What was your position?
I played the 2 and the 3. So shooting guard, small forward.
Yeah, you would shoot the ball, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was a pretty good defender, and I could score a little bit.
Okay, and how about you? Other sports? Did you play basketball?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was nice.
He was good at baseball. He was good at baseball, too.
I was nice. I didn't run track. I ain't like the track. I ain't like running. But,
is that why you played baseball?
Yeah, I actually gave it up when I got to high school because I wanted an extra season to focus on football, which is the main sport. But basketball, if you're from Indiana, that's what we do. So
one-on-one ever?
Growing up, in the backyard, playing all different type of games.
Would you look at the twinkle in Rod Smith's eye right now? Would you just look at the look on his face?
Rod is 3 years older. I'm going to be very disappointed if we hear that Jaylon was winning.
Oh, not one-on-one, but like if we did like shooting games and stuff like that, it was very competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, but I couldn't touch him one-on-one. Not with that age difference.
Well, and any big brother knows the right thing to do is never let a younger brother win.
You can try sometimes. Sometimes you really get beat by your little brother. Yeah. We got some younger brothers right now, and the youngest one is dominating him and everything.
I was going to ask about siblings. How many other siblings are there?
Man, what is it? 7 of us?
Yeah, 5 brothers, 1 sister. I believe.
Yeah. Oh, one sister?
Yeah.
How does she do that? Man. How does she deal with that?
I don't know. She got it hard. I can tell you that. She got it hard.
Where does she fit in on the age range?
She's what under Jaylon?
Yeah, she's the 1, 2. Well, she's the fourth oldest.
So stuck right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, she's a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
She goes to Bishop Lewis, the school I went to.
Is she an athlete? Yeah. It sounds like it's kind of in the genes.
She do volleyball. She gymnastics and stuff like that.
She's tall too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys aren't protective of her at all, are you?
You gotta be. I mean, she got all these brothers. She ain't got no choice. She just got something she got to deal with, man.
Do the Cowboy? Is there a group of players that get together, whether it's off season or whatever, and play basketball? Because I remember we had Tyrone on here. Crawford.
Crawford said he would school everybody,
and so did basically everyone else that we've had on. Who said they're the best player ever.
Said that?
Yes, absolutely.
Who was he with who said that he would? It was Tapper.
Yes,
was
Tapper was also the best player on the team.
And they agreed that they just seriously needed to have a one-on. In fact, we said we would stage it.
It would have happened right here.
We said we'd stage it, and Jeff could referee.
One day, man, you never know what can happen.
We should definitely do that. Y'all should put that together.
Yeah,
for real.
Tyrone
Seriously.
against Tap.
Yep.
Seriously.
You think Jason Garrett signs off on that?
No way.
Nah.
I don't recall anyone bringing up asking Daddy.
Apologies. We'll apologize to him after.
No way.
It'll go great. We'll love it.
Yeah. All right. So baseball, before you got to high school.
Yes.
What was your position?
I was a shortstop and catcher.
And catcher.
Yeah, I batted third.
Long ball?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I shoot him out. I shoot him out.
You weren't scared to play catcher? That was the one position I never played. I was terrified.
No, I loved
swinging
it.
a bat.
I loved it. Throwing that shot to second base.
Yeah.
Man, it was just, what was annoying was having to put all that equipment on every, especially if you were batting.
Yes.
And then, you got out, and you had to hurry up and run and put it back on.
Don't make the third out.
Yeah, man, that was.
So you guys, training camp, roommates, right?
Yeah.
Road games?
Yeah.
Outside of that, have you been roommates?
We roommates everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
You guys still live together?
No, we don't live together.
Oh, okay.
We right up the street from each other. We're close, but everywhere we roommates.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how weird the house would get.
Here at the Omni, we room together.
Oh yeah.
So, what is the most annoying thing about your big brother?
Okay, Brad.
The most annoying?
Most annoying thing about your big
He
brother?
just trying to divide us, man.
No.
He's crazy.
No, my brother's here. He would fill your notebook with things that are annoying about me.
I'm trying to think. Well, growing up, we had to share a room together, and man, he never cleaned up. He was so dirty. So I took responsibility to clean up after his mess a lot of the times. I'll tell you that much.
He did not set a good example. What's the most annoying thing about your little brother?
I don't know.
That he always wanted to clean up the messes?
Maybe, I mean, he used to get me in trouble, like, easily, like, growing up.
I was a tattletale.
You
Like,
were not.
Easily, like, man. But
I was
he
tattletale.
he would tell on me, but wouldn't tell on the oldest. I don't know why, man. Like,
Are you second?
yeah, I'm the second oldest, yeah.
And what's your oldest oldest brother's name?
Jordan Smith.
And you would not rat on him.
Nah, I wouldn't rat on him.
I don't know.
Just
We always a little like afraid of him. It was like Dad and Jordan. Don't mess with them.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it was growing up, man.
All right, I have a running back question for Rod. Watching the game yesterday, I don't think people realize how long the field really is if a play happens where you have to run the whole way. When that hole opened up for Alfred, and Alfred runs 71 yards, I was watching, and I'm just thinking, I bet that ball gets heavy after about 40 or 50 of it.
Ooh,
if you ever open up and you've got to go 70 or 80, do you look at it like, please don't get caught? Please don't get caught.
I mean, you got to, but I mean, you just got to put your head down and just go. Hope nobody don't catch you. Don't look back. That's gonna slow you down. That's gonna slow you down. But
Now,
yeah.
in that stadium, there's probably places you can look to watch the play happen.
I was actually, man, I was hoping he got in there, man. It's been a long time since we've seen the swing, man. I wanted to see him swing, man.
Did Zeke immediately run into the game like, you're good, you're out of here, we're close?
I'm not sure. I know he was out there like the next play.
Well, he
Yes,
wasn't.
he was.
Yeah. Alfred was a little out of gas.
Oh yeah.
And now we did see the swing last year in Alfred's. For those of you who don't know that, it's a baseball
Man, it's amazing.
swing.
Yeah.
You like it?
I miss it.
I love it. I love it. It's one of the best celebrations ever, man.
You, sir, on the other hand, have the swipe.
Yes.
So where did the swipe come from?
My sophomore year of high school, we were playing against Wayne High School, and it was a third down stop. I got a sack, and I just did it, and it was just out of adrenaline. I went on the sideline, and everybody was like, man, that was dope. That was dope, bro. What made you do that? So the rest of the game, I had 2 more sacks. I ended up doing it again. I just stuck with it, and I've been doing it, my entire career now. I did it all up in Notre Dame. It got very popular, and now Cowboy Nation will get a fine relationship with the slight.
Did you score any touchdowns at Notre Dame?
No. I actually got tripped up. I got tripped up, man. I got tripped up. I made the quarterback fumble, and I picked it up, and I took off, and it tripped me up, man.
Now, did you get caught or did you trip?
No, I got tripped up.
Okay.
Make that clear.
I'm asking.
I got caught.
Oh, you got caught.
I ain't gonna lie.
Who were you playing?
Georgia Tech, I believe.
I asked if you scored a touchdown because that would be clearly when you score your first professional touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be a swipe-worthy event, won't it? Or will it be something else?
I can't give that information out. You're going to see.
Wow.
Now, Jaylon, I saw, I think it was just the one play, but last week I saw one play where you were at right defensive end with your hand on the ground. Is that something that might be incorporated?
Can't give you that information.
Okay. All right. Sorry I asked.
Well, you watch the tape. You know, he'll
I saw the man put a hand on the ground and rush the quarterback from right defensive end.
And he will also, from time to time, rush the quarterback without a hand on the ground. In the deacon formation. He's a versatile man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yesterday, actually.
Swipe's coming, Brad. Swipe's coming.
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no. You know what else is coming? Our next break. We are here at the. Do you like the way I did that?
Yes,
We're here
great.
at the on the Cowboys Hour on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. The Miller Lite Cowboys Hour at the Omni Frisco, supported by Albertsons, with our special guests Jaylon Smith and Rod Smith, and we're brought to you in part by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, and by Omni Hotel. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations, coast to coast, with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more and turn the next away game into a getaway weekend. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll be right back on the Cowboys Radio Network.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back. It is the Cowboy Hour. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh alongside Brad Sham and our very special guests this week, Jaylon and Rod Smith. We are brought to you in part by Jack Black Skincare. Say goodbye to painful razor burn and bumps when you upgrade your shave with Jack Black's pain-free shave system. Now, $10 off your order of $50 or more when you visit getjackblack.com/Cowboys. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. And Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries at Albertsons and Tom Thumb every Dallas Cowboy game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey and enter for a chance to win tickets to the next Cowboys home game, courtesy of Albertsons, the official supermarket of the Dallas Cowboys. So we have Jaylon and Rod Smith with us. We have a great crowd here at the Omni Frisco.
And who's that we have with a microphone out there in the audience?
We've sent out a professional broadcaster, the great Amanda Guerra of KRLD, and my girlfriend.
Oh.
So we have a pro broadcaster working the microphone.
Yeah, right.
This is great.
By the way, excuse me. Everybody look at Jeff. If you look in the dictionary under outkicked his coverage, you get a picture of Jeff.
Not ashamed of it.
No?
All right. Now, are you guys prepared for unfiltered questions from an audience?
Let's do it.
We can't control what's going to happen here. Here we go. Amanda, who we got?
But if we don't like him, it's all Amanda's fault.
100%.
Okay,
I'll
good.
take the blame.
Okay, good.
So this is Baylor. He's 16. He just moved here from North Carolina. So he's a new Cowboy fan.
Oh, welcome.
All right.
Wow.
What was like your reaction when you got drafted by the Cowboys, Jaylon and Jaylon?
Oh man. Well, if you watch the video, I was sitting next to Rod, and we were literally just having a blast. You know, all the family was around bowling and things like that. And when the number called, my phone started ringing. It was a 214 number.
I believe so, yeah.
And I looked at Rod, and he was like, "Oh, that's Dallas. That's Dallas." And so I answered the phone. It was Jerry Jones, and my heart just dropped. And it was just an extreme amount of just joy and emotion because I knew I was going to have the opportunity to play the game of football again, but with my big brother. So it was a blessing.
I want to ask a follow-up. It strikes me that I don't know if people are really prepared to play for the Dallas Cowboys. It's kind of, in soccer they call it a big club. But you both went to programs with a great deal of scrutiny, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Yeah. So, Jaylon, did playing at Notre Dame help you be prepared for all the periphery of playing for the Cowboys?
Absolutely, absolutely. Notre Dame is global, much like, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. So, I had a lot of experience of, being under a lot of scrutiny. Definitely here with the Cowboys, when you play good, all is well. When you play bad, you're the worst player on America.
Ever in the history.
Yeah, ever in the history. Right. When you lose, it's all hell. When you win, you're on cloud nine. So we're very familiar with that. Him going to Ohio State, they get that as well. So, you got to stay humble. You got to, take everything in.
And did Ohio State prepare you for that? What's the difference between playing in Dallas and playing in Seattle?
I would say Ohio State definitely prepared me. Playing with guys with NFL capability. Really, just you can see that it's talent everywhere, and you can't take it for granted. You just, like he said, you got to take it all in and be humble, and every day go out there and prove that you right where you need to be, that you can play at this level. I would say the difference from Seattle. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I've been gone from Seattle for a while, so I can't really remember. But I don't know. Both programs, they both intense. They both want to win. They both winning programs. They got a history of winning. So
yeah, that's a good fan base up there too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Amanda.
All right, this is Manny from Irving.
What's up, man? This is Big Manny. I just want to know what's been the biggest or the most difficult transition going from college to the NFL, especially with your injury.
I would say that in the NFL, everyone is good, so you have to be on your P's and Q's every play, every second of the play. And if you're off for 1 minute or if you're off for 1/10 of a second, bad things can happen. And, you see that in the NFL. You see these great players, sometimes getting beat. And, that's okay. That's what makes the game, that much more competitive. And, with us being competitors, we embrace that, and we try our hardest to not let that happen.
Oh yeah.
Rod, what would you say is the biggest different. Obviously, the talent level is going to be different.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of weak links on football teams in the
Yeah.
NFL. But did you notice anything in terms of that transition that jumps out at you?
I would say the speed. Each level, when you go from, you know what I'm saying, when you go from Pop Warner to middle school to high school, et cetera, it gets faster. So I would say the speed gets faster. So more you need to take more time in your playbook and studying and really like keying on what you need to like focus in on to be great in this league.
We go back to the audience, Amanda, with our next question.
This is Emily from Connecticut. She was just in town for the game, so let's make it up to her with this question.
Okay.
To both of you, what's your favorite moment as a Dallas Cowboys player?
Favorite moment. I ain't gonna lie. For me, I start on all the special teams. So I look at it like this: the game has to start with me on the field. So you know, with whether it's kickoff or kickoff return, the way the fans get hype and get excited, and like the way that stadium, it just like it explodes. Like I know you guys pretty sure have been to games, but when that first kickoff about to go down, it's so loud you can barely hear yourself think, and I love that moment. I live for that moment. I love it.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
Plays right before kickoff.
Right.
Gets everybody going.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite moment as a Cowboy yet?
I would say my first game back, preseason versus the Colts. My first tackle, the swipe. Yep, it was a third down stop, and I was able to hit the swipe. So it was definitely a remarkable moment.
That sounds like a pretty good moment. Amanda, more questions in the audience?
We're with Trey from Irving.
Yes, I wanted to go back. This is kind of for both of y'all. In the first game that you mentioned, when you got to play Jaylon, when Rod was in the game and broke off that big run that he had, and y'all both celebrated on the sideline. Can you tell us a little bit about that or how that was feeling?
Just extreme excitement, you know, for the brotherly love. You know, him out there, you know, balling. It felt like me, and vice versa. So just, you know, we're each other's number one fan. So
Don't tell your mother.
I would say for me for that game, really just being away from running back for a year, it really humbled me and made me really want to go out here and attack everybody, anything, whatever I'm playing on the field. I just want to go out there and I just want to dominate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tired of being overlooked. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go out there and compete and make plays for this team, and you know what I'm saying? I just want to make plays for the team.
All right, we got Zach from Prosper.
Hey guys, was there one player in college that really inspired you guys to be better football players?
Good one.
one player.
Could
That's a
be a
good
college
question.
player, pro player.
Cameron Wake from Miami, the Dolphins. He came to speak at Notre Dame after my freshman year, and he was, you know, just kind of influencing us, kind of on the ins and outs of the NFL and the business side of it, and you know, kind of his journey he had to take to get there. You know, starting being undrafted, then going to the Canadian League, and then coming over and you know, all the success he's had. He inspired me a lot. So I really look forward to reaching out to him. I'm not sure if he remembers me or anything, but I look forward to that.
He might. Rod?
For me, I'm not sure. I'd probably say everyone really. Everyone I come in encounter with, it's always something you can learn from someone. So whether it's on the field or if I'm just coming across someone, just trying to get to know them, or trying to, you know what I'm saying, really just anything like we talk about. It's something you know what I'm saying, you can learn from that conversation. So I just try to take, you know what I'm saying, everything and just try to gain some type of knowledge from everybody I come in contact with.
Mine was Peter Warwick at Florida State because he had a jab step. But my legs wouldn't let me do it.
He was a bad boy.
All right, one more question.
And
we
we
got
have
about
less
30
than a minute,
seconds,
yeah.
so let's go. We got to
All
go
right,
quick.
Alex from LA.
This is for Jaylon. How do you feel now after your injury, being a starter, and pretty much like?
We lost the mic out there.
Well, I can just improvise. It's a blessing to be able to start at middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a dream come true. You know, and every week I look forward to succeeding and be great.
Thank you guys so much.
Privileged to have you both here. Thanks for sharing your time. Rod Smith, Jaylon Smith, and Jeff Cavanaugh and Jeff Cavanaugh's parents. I'm Brad Sham. Maybe just one guest next week. Use your imagination. We'll see you next week on the Cowboys Hour.